Boundary Setting Strategies for Balancing Ambition with Life's Demands, written by Monique Farmer, PR and Communications Consultant. Let me tell you something I have learned the hard way. Ambition without boundaries is a recipe for burnout. And if you are a woman in midlife, juggling career goals, caregiving, relationships, and your own shifting identity, you know exactly what I mean. There comes a moment, and maybe it has hit you recently, when you realize that the pace you have been running at is no longer sustainable. Not because you are incapable, but because you are finally tired of putting yourself last on your own list. The ambition is still there. The dreams are still real, but the way you pursue them, that part needs to change. Enter boundaries. Now I know, boundaries can feel like walls, like you are shutting people out or saying no to things you should say yes to. But that is not what healthy boundaries are about. They are not about rejection. They are about respect. They are lines drawn in love. Love for your energy, time, vision, and sanity. Let us start at work. Work-life balance, redefining boundaries for success. Maybe you have spent years being the one who always stays late, picks up the slack, and answers emails at midnight. Maybe it is time to stop, not because you do not care, but because you care too much about your health, your creativity, your peace. What if success did not have to come at the cost of your well-being? What if you could be excellent and shut your laptop by 6 p.m.? That is what boundaries at work can do. They help you lead without leaking. You stop overfunctioning for systems that will keep spinning without your exhaustion. You start reclaiming time for thinking, visioning, and simply breathing between meetings. And here's the thing, people will adjust. They might be surprised at first. But when you model what healthy ambition looks like, you do not just protect your peace. You give others permission to do the same. Time management, guarding your energy. Then there is time. And listen, time boundaries are life boundaries. They are about deciding how you want to feel at the end of the day and reverse engineering your calendar to support that feeling. One of the simplest time boundaries I have seen work wonders is the top 3 rule. You pick 3 priorities for the day, just 3, not 15, not whatever is loudest. 3 things that matter. You anchor your energy there and let the rest flow around it. You can also time block moments just for you. Maybe it is 30 minutes in the morning to journal. Maybe it is a standing no meetings block every Friday afternoon. Whatever it is, protect it like you would a boardroom presentation, because it is just as important. Now let us talk about fulfillment. Personal fulfillment, making room for joy. This is the piece so many ambitious women miss because we have been taught to produce, not to play. But fulfillment is not optional. It is fuel. It keeps your inner fire lit when the world gets cold. And that means setting boundaries to protect your joy. Yes, joy. Not productivity, not perfection, not performance. Joy. Maybe it is saying no to weekend work so you can go to your dance class, read novels, paint, garden, or nap with your dog. Maybe it is refusing to be everyone's fixer so you can finally fix yourself a plate and sit down in peace. Boundaries make space for delight. And if that sounds foreign, it is probably a sign you need it even more. But here's the part most of us struggle with: self-prioritization. Self-prioritization, giving yourself permission. Somewhere along the way, we were taught that caring for ourselves was selfish, that saying no was rude, that rest had to be earned. And it is just not true. Prioritizing yourself is not self-centered. It is self-sustaining. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you should not have to. So give yourself permission to create rituals that restore you. Maybe it is a non-negotiable bedtime. Maybe it is a Saturday morning walk without anyone needing anything from you. Maybe it is finally unfollowing the account that makes you feel less than. Set emotional boundaries too. Protect your energy from chronic complainers, toxic group chats, and situations that leave you drained instead of inspired. A simple boundary setting blueprint. Here is a gentle truth. You are allowed to disappoint others in order to honor yourself. Let that sink in, because here's the blueprint, plain and simple. Boundaries around work create space for rest and vision. Boundaries around time help you focus on what matters. Boundaries around joy remind you that life is to be lived, not just managed. Boundaries around self say, I matter too. So this week, try something radical. Set one boundary, just one. It could be tiny. It could be not answering emails after dinner. It could be blocking 15 minutes for deep breathing between Zoom calls. It could be saying, Let me get back to you, instead of saying yes out of habit. Whatever it is, make it yours. Make it sacred. Because ambition without boundaries is burnout waiting to happen. But ambition with boundaries, that is leadership. That is legacy. That is how you rise and rest. You have already done the hard part. You have shown up, given, and built. Now it is time to draw the line that says, this is what success looks like for me now. And then honor it like your peace depends on it, because it does. Want more insights like this? You can subscribe to the Avant Edge at AvantSolutions.org. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, and we'll be happy to send you our newsletter regularly when it's disseminated. Thank you for listening.